Hi grade 12s, I'm making a little video to explore the solids of revolution around our two different axes. So this is just to set it up. I've got my red axis is my x-axis, my green axis is my y-axis. You can see that I've made a section of a parabola here. The equation's in the top left of the screen, and I'm going from x is greater than 0 to x is less than 2. So just a small section of the parabola. I'm missing part of my... Oh, there we go. Okay, so what happens then when we take our function and we rotate it around an axis? Now, I think it's really important, the thing that I clearly didn't do a very good job of explaining, is that we're rotating the function around it. So this green line or curve. We're not rotating, this is where I think the confusion may have come from, we're not rotating the area that is underneath that curve around the axes. We're rotating the green line. So when we go around the x-axis, let's put the x-axis back on, we're going to take that green line, we're going to rotate it 360 degrees or 2 pi radians around the x-axis, and we end up with, well, this is the shape if we're looking side on. You can see it kind of looks a bit like, I don't know, maybe a really wide sun umbrella, like the top of that, or a really shallow bowl. So that's the shape we get. It's quite wide because the function goes, we've got square axes, the function goes quite higher, then it goes wider, and so we end up with this shape. If we're talking about the volume of it, we imagine filling that whole shape in as a solid and finding the amount of solid that we've got, or the amount of space we're taking up in the room. Okay, so that's what happens when we go around the x-axis. When we go around the y-axis, we need to go back to thinking about this green line. Forget the solid that went around the x-axis, just think of the green line. We're going to take this green line and we're going to rotate it. We're going to, I think maybe it's good to watch it. We're going to rotate it around the y-axis. Okay, so what's getting coloured in blue is all the space that the green line covers as it goes round the y-axis. Okay, we get a very different shape because this green line is it's, as I said before, it's taller than it is wide. It goes up to 6 on the y-axis, it only goes across to 2 on the x-axis, so it's taller. So when we go around the y-axis, we're getting a narrower shape. Okay, so it looks like, I don't know, the end of something you'd pipe frosting on a cake with, or a really tall wine glass, like a champagne glass or something like that. It's much narrower. A very different shape to what we get with the x-axis. Okay, so once again, if we're finding the volume, we're thinking about all the space that shape is taking up, and we're imagining it filled in as a solid. Okay, hopefully that gives us a bit of an idea about the difference, and thinking about rotating that curve around the axes is what's important, not rotating that area under the x-axis. We've spent so long talking about these kind of areas that I can understand why there might be confusion there. Anyway, I hope that video clears things up a little bit and is helpful to some of you. Bye bye.